Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I would like to recite two verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam to get us in the proper mood to hear about Krishna's Bala Leela. Yena yena vatarena Bhagavan Harir Ishwaraha Karoti Karna Ramyani Mano Gyani Chana Prabho Yat Srinvato Paitya Ratir Vritrishna Satvang Cha Shudyati Achirena Pungsa Bhaktir Harau Tat Purushe Chasakyam Tad Eva Haram Vadamanyase Chet. So, Krishna's childhood pastimes do not take place in the spiritual world. They only occur on earth. In the spiritual world, Krishna is eternally a 16-year-old youth. So there are no baby pastimes in the spiritual world. This makes these childhood pastimes of Krishna on earth very special, since that's the only place that they occur. Shukadeva Goswami started to instruct Maharaj Parikshit in the second canto and took him step by step through all different kinds of avatars or incarnations. He did not start with Krishna. First, he started with the Pandavas and what happened after the battle of Kurukshetra. And then he described 6 different kinds of incarnations. And he described so many. Then in the 10th canto is where Shukadev begins to describe Krishna's pastimes in 90 chapters. The 10th canto is the largest of all the cantos. There are 12 cantos, 335 chapters, 90 of which describe Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, there is a very famous verse, Janma karma chame divyam eva yoveti tatvataha tyaktva dehang punar janma naiti mameti sorajuna. Krishna explains that if anyone can understand in truth Krishna's janma, birth, and his karma, his activities, if somebody can factually understand that, then they are not taking birth again in this world, but they're going to go to Krishna's spiritual abode, the transcendental realm, Goloka, Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna Loka. So this 10th canto is the complete explanation, beginning with Krishna's birth, all the way, and then in the 11th canto, we hear about Krishna's disappearance. So, these 2 verses I chanted, Parikshit had been hearing now 6 chapters about Krishna's childhood pastimes. And after hearing, here is what Parikshit has to say. He says to his spiritual master, "My Lord, Shukadeva Goswami, All the various activities exhibited by incarnations of God are certainly pleasing to the ear and the mind. Simply by hearing of these activities, the dirty things in the mind immediately vanish. Generally, we are reluctant to hear about the activities of the Lord. But Krishna's childhood activities are so attractive that they are automatically pleasing to the mind and ear. So I was very happy that you picked this topic, because I was reminded of this verse last night. I got a text message from Krishna. Look what he just said. Krishna's childhood activities are so attractive that they are automatically pleasing to the mind and ear. Thus, one's attachment for hearing about material things, which is the root cause of material existence, vanishes, and one gradually develops devotional service to the Supreme Lord. One develops attachment for Him and friendship with devotees who give us the contribution of Krishna consciousness. So it is very valuable to have devotee friends. You have so many friends. You have Facebook friends. You have relatives. You have so many friends. But most importantly, you should have devotee friends. If you think it fit, kindly speak about those activities of the Lord. In other words, Parikshit is telling Shukadeva Goswami, please continue. I want to hear more and more. The spiritual master will only instruct the disciple to the level the disciple is actually eager to hear about. So the disciple or the audience has to be, first of all, interested. Then the guru can speak more and more and more. So Parikshit has heard 6 chapters about Krishna's babyhood, and he's telling his guru, please, I want to hear more. So first we start with Janmashtami, the night Krishna appeared to Devaki and Vasudeva. It was predicted on the marriage day of Vasudeva and Devaki that Devaki's 8th child would kill Kamsa. Kamsa was driving the chariot after Devaki and Vasudeva had just gotten married. And while Kamsa was driving the chariot, he heard a voice in the sky, Kamsa, you fool! The 8th child of your sister will kill you. Kamsa immediately let go of the reins of the horses, and he grabbed Devaki by the hair and pulled out his sword and was going to kill her on the spot. Such a cruel brother. So cruel. But Vasudeva immediately started to talk to Kamsa and convinced him it was the 8th child. She may not have any children. No need to kill her now. It would go against your reputation. It would not look good for you. So Vasudeva said, Kamsa, if there are any children, I will turn them over to you. You can do whatever you want. Kamsa was convinced because Vasudeva was a man of his word. Vasudeva was that kind of man. So, Devaki gave birth to the first child. Vasudeva went to Kamsa. I promised you. And Kamsa said, well, I'm not really worried about this child. I'm worried about the 8th child. So you can take your child back. But then somebody came to see Kamsa. Narada Muni, the transcendental troublemaker. Narada went to Kamsa and said, Kamsa, why did you be so lenient with Devaki's first child? Any one of the children could be the one that's going to kill you. And then Narada said, and Kamsa, by the way, in your previous life, you were a demon. You were known as Kalanemi. And Vishnu killed you. And now Vishnu is coming again to kill you. So as soon as Kamsa heard this from Narada, he killed that first child, Kirtiman. And Devaki gave birth year after year, 6 children. And each one, Vasudeva turned over, Kamsa killed it. The 7th child appeared to be a miscarriage. But actually what happened, the child was transferred from Devaki's womb to the womb of another wife of Vasudeva, Rohini, who was living not in Mathura, but in Gokula. So the 7th child was saved. Then the 8th child appeared. And he appeared at midnight. That's why we celebrate Janmashtami at midnight. And that's why we have to fast the whole day. That's a rough one. But when the child appeared, he did not appear as a baby. He appeared as Narayan. Everybody say. And he told Vasudeva and Devaki, this is the 3rd time I am appearing as your child. I was previously, when you had a different birth, Prishni and Sutapa, I was your child, Prishni Garba. Then a second time, when you were Kasyapa and Aditi, I appeared as your son, Vamana. And now, the 3rd time, Vasudeva and Devaki, I am appearing, and this is your last birth in this material world. Because Vasudeva and Devaki had performed austerities and penances to have God as their child. So 3 births. But Vasudeva and Devaki were very worried that they knew as soon as Kamsa finds out that you have appeared, he's going to come and kill you. So please, make yourself look like an ordinary child. So Krishna did that. He can change form like anything. So instead of looking like 4-handed Narayan, he made himself into a little baby. And then Krishna told Vasudeva, you take me to Gokula. There is a friend of yours, Nanda and Yashoda, and she has just given birth to a girl. Switch us. Because Kamsa's looking for male child. So Vasudeva did that. He went to Gokul, and Yashoda, when she gave birth, she immediately fell asleep. And when she woke up, she didn't remember if she had given birth to a boy or a girl. So when she woke up, she found this beautiful boy, Krishna, because the babies were switched. And Vasudeva took the girl, that was Yashoda's daughter, and went back to the prison, put the shackles back on, and the baby immediately started to what? Cry. Kamsa woke up. Oh, the eighth child. So Kamsa came to where Vasudeva and Devaki were imprisoned. And he saw that it was a girl. And he was thinking, but the omen said it was supposed to be a boy. Never mind. He grabbed the baby girl and was going to smash her on a stone. But this was not ordinary girl. She was Durga Mata. And she flew up into the sky and chastised Kamsa. You rascal! The child you're looking for is already born somewhere else. And then Durga disappeared. So, Vasudeva and Devaki did not have the privilege of experiencing Krishna's childhood pastimes. Krishna was reunited with Vasudeva and Devaki when he was 11, when Akrura came and brought Krishna and Balaram because Kamsa had a plan to kill Krishna, either by the elephant or in the wrestling arena. But as we all know, Kamsa was killed. So for 11 years, Krishna is with Yashoda and Nanda, and they don't know that it's actually not their child. Because like I said, Yashoda woke up, she didn't remember, did I give birth to a boy or a girl? So since she saw the boy, immediately all her love and attention was for this beautiful young baby named Krishna. Everybody say. Very good. My goal is to get you to say Krishna as much as possible. That's my tactic. Okay. Krishna is there being taken care of by Nanda and Yashoda in the cowherd village of Braja. And Krishna is hardly 1 month old when a demon, a demoness, a witch came, sent by Kamsa. And her plan was to kill Krishna by putting poison on her breast. And because she was a witch, she was able to disguise herself. Just like those of you who know Ram Leela, Shurpanaka. She changed herself to look like a beautiful woman, but actually she was ugly Rakshasi. But she was so Putana was the same way. She was able to so when she entered the home, nobody checked her because she looked like as if she was the goddess of fortune. And she asked, I want to nurse this child. Nobody checked her because she was so beautiful. That's why you got to watch out for beautiful women. That's a joke, don't worry. But when she took the baby on her lap and was going to feed her, even though Krishna is hardly 1 month old, he still knows everything. He's still God. The form Krishna takes doesn't change the fact that he's God. And he can see through the disguise of this Putana. And this Putana had killed many babies before. So Krishna didn't really want to see her face. She was so sinful. He closed his eyes. He didn't want to see this witch. So when she took to nurse him, Krishna grabbed hold and sucked not just the poison, but her life air. And Krishna was sucking her life air, and she was screaming, "Leave me! Leave me!" And as she was experiencing excruciating pain, her real form manifested. But Krishna wouldn't let go. And she ran. And finally, when she died, she was like 8-9 miles big. And there was this baby little Krishna innocently playing on her lap. And all the gopis came and they took Krishna and blessed him and chanted mantras. The gopis chant mantras. Perhaps we should chant mantras. Let's chant. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Yes, we follow in the footsteps of great devotees. So, the next demon was a whirlwind demon, Trinavarta, also sent by Kamsa. And he created a tremendous dust storm. Nobody could see anything. Tremendous dust storm. And he scooped up baby Krishna. Perhaps he was 1 year old, maybe. He scooped up Krishna and took him high in the sky. But again, even though Krishna is a little baby, he's still God. So Krishna holds on to the neck of Trinavarta and he starts to choke. And so he comes crashing down. And there is Krishna playing, happy, untouched. And of course, Yashoda comes and takes care, because that's what mothers do. As soon as there's anything with the child, the mother is always there to take care. Am I right, mothers? No matter what time of the day it is. But now I hear the fathers are also. Good. Very good. And there was also a cart demon. A demon took shelter in a cart, and there was a sacrifice. And then, while the sacrifice was going on, Yashoda put Krishna underneath the cart momentarily. But Krishna knew that there was a demon in the cart, so he kicked the cart collapsed, and all the young little children who were there told everybody, "Oh, this baby kicked the cart," but nobody believed. Nobody believed. They said, "What are we talking about?" Then we have the famous pastime, Damodar. Everybody say, Damodar, Dama Udara. Very, very famous. One of the most famous pastimes of Krishna. So many people know it all over the world. In fact, in this temple for 1 month, we meditate on that Damodar Leela for 1 month. Because why? There is great benefit by studying this Damodar Leela. So it was Diwali day. Yes, Diwali has been going on for thousands of years. So on this Diwali day, Mother Yashoda was personally churning to make butter and yogurt. Why? Because now at this time, Krishna is 3 or 4 years old. There had been complaints from the neighbors that Krishna and Balaram were going to the neighbors and creating disturbances, as boys tend to do. Are your boys naughty? They are. Okay. Well, we still love them, right? Prabhupada said, a naughty boy means intelligent. So, it's a good sign. But he cannot stay that way. He has to go to school and become gentleman. So, it seems that Krishna and Balaram were going to the neighbors, stealing butter and yogurt. They would pinch the sleeping babies and make them cry. Krishna and Balaram, if they didn't like the yogurt and butter in the person's house, they would pass urine and stool in the person's house. Yes, Krishna and Balaram were very naughty. Very naughty. Why? Because Krishna is demonstrating and acting like an ordinary human child. I use the word like. It's a drama. It's a play. We'll fix up that. Okay. So Yashoda is thinking, why is my child so restless that he has to go to other people's houses to get butter and yogurt? Perhaps he doesn't like what he's getting at home. So on Diwali day, Yashoda is personally churning the butter, yogurt, and Yashoda had special cows, her own cows. And those cows would eat very special grass, different types of grass, which would flavor the milk. Just see the mystic power of the cow. If you and I eat grass, we don't produce milk. If you eat wheatgrass, they're not going to produce milk. But these cows, the cow has that potency. Eat grass, produce milk. So these cows eating the special grass would give that milk a special flavor. Another point. In Vrindavan, they are not vegan. There are no vegans in Vrindavan. That's a whole nother discussion. So Mother Yashoda is churning the butter and she's singing songs. And what were the songs she was singing? Krishna's childhood pastimes. Either she had composed herself or she might have someone compose. So she's churning. Krishna wakes up from his nap and he comes to his mother and says, I want you to feed me from your breast. So Yashoda, being a good mother, stops the churning and begins to nurse Krishna. But all of a sudden, she hears on the stove, the milk is boiling over. She has to take care. You can't let that go on. So she stops Krishna from feeding him to go to the kitchen to take care of the overflowing milk. Krishna becomes very angry. And he has false tears in his eyes. And he bites his lip. He takes a rock and smashes the churning bucket. And the butter comes out. Then Krishna steps in the butter. Oh, he likes that. And then he starts to run around and leaves behind his butter-smeared footprints. Yashoda, after taking care of the boiling milk, comes back and sees, what is this nonsense? This child has broken the pot of butter and he's hiding somewhere. He knows he's going to get punished. So Yashoda traces out Krishna's footprints. And when she finds him, he's on top of a big wooden grinding mortar, ulukala. And what is Krishna doing? He's taking the yogurt and butter and giving it to his good friends, the monkeys. How many have been to Vrindavan and seen how many monkeys there? You got to watch it. They'll take your mala, they'll take your cell phone, they'll take your watch. Huh? Glasses, yes. Monkeys are trouble. So Krishna is looking this way, because he knows he's in trouble. He sees Yashoda. And Yashoda has a stick in her hand. Anybody gotten the stick? I got the stick when I was young. That hurts. I can still feel it. So Krishna jumps down and starts to run. And it takes Yashoda a while because Yashoda is a fully grown woman. She doesn't go to the gym. She's a regular cowherd lady. Heavy. Finally, after so long, she captures Krishna. And Krishna is trembling. And he's really crying. He's afraid. And the cudgel on Krishna's eyes now streaks down because of the tears. And Yashoda has the stick and she's angry. But then she thinks, nah, this stick, that's too much punishment. She throws the stick away. But then she thinks, but this child is so restless. I can't get any housework done. Just see, you're the mother of God, and you still have to do housework. Just see. So Yashoda thinks, I can't get anything done, so let me tie up the child so that he cannot cause a disturbance. I can get my work done. So she calls for rope. And she tries to tie up Krishna to the grinding mortar. But when she tries to make the final knot, it's 2 fingers or 2 inches short. So she tells the servant, bring more rope. Come on, Jaldi, bring more rope. More rope is added, but when she tries to make the final knot, it's still 2 fingers too short. She calls for more rope, and more rope, and more rope. Whenever she tries to make the final knot, it's 2 fingers too short. Krishna is playing a trick on Yashoda. And Krishna is teaching us also. What is Krishna saying? Yashoda, you may think that I'm your little child, but actually, I am Ananta. Everybody say, I am unlimited. How can you tie up the unlimited? Can you grab the sky? Huh? The sky is unlimited. Can you capture the sky? No. So Krishna is Ananta. Everybody say, he's unlimited. So Krishna is telling Yashoda, you cannot capture me by jnana, knowledge. You cannot capture me by yoga. The only thing that can capture Krishna, bhakti. Everybody say, love. So when Yashoda becomes flabbergasted, frustrated, she gives up trying to tie him. Krishna says, okay, now you can tie me up. But you're not tying me with ropes. You're tying me with love. So for me, this is one reason why I try to love Krishna. I love this concept, love of God. That's the main thing here. So, in finishing up, because I could go on for 2 hours, but they want to hear Raghunandanji. So somebody should bring the microphone over to Raghunandanji. Krishna performed these childhood pastimes to attract us. That's why he performs these childhood pastimes. We like to go to movies and watch this and this. Krishna's childhood pastimes are meant to take us out of material attraction and make it so that we become attracted to Krishna. As Parikshit Maharaj said, these childhood pastimes are so attractive. I became a devotee simply by reading Krishna's childhood pastimes, especially the pastime of Putana. That was what convinced me. I was reading one night, chapter 1. Finally, I read this killing of Putana. I closed the book. I said, I am joining Prabhupada's movement. Best decision I ever made in my life. Krishna's pastimes are all attractive. Thank you very much. Now we will hear the beautiful, attractive narration, bhajan of Sri Ranganandanji Maharaj.